Hello everyone, Thursday, December the 30th. This is, of course, we continue with the octave of Christmas. It's no quote-unquote special feast day, but it is the octave of Christmas, so it's like Christmas Day, extended, from Saturday through till this coming Saturday, when we end the octave with the celebration of the Mother of God, Solemnity of the Mother of God. So we're continuing with 1 John. And again, it's so rich, but do not love the world or the things in the world. The love of the Father is not in those who love the world. For all that is in the world, the desire of the flesh, the desire of the eyes, and the pride in riches comes not from the Father, but from the world. And the world and its desires are passing away, and those who do the will of God live forever. So St. John is warning us here, what all of us, have heard probably many times before, but it was way back then, 2,000 years ago. You can imagine how even it's more important to hear it now, because back then they certainly had, things of the world, power. Well, everything is contained in what St. John here says, the desire of the flesh. They saw the apple, or the proverbial, whatever, the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The desire of the eyes, and this often is what leads us to sin, right? It's not the eyes per se, but the disordered tendencies when we look and then we allow the flames to be fanned in order to possess what we should not possess, the knowledge of good and evil. Not all knowledge is good knowledge. Some of it we should stay the heck away from. We want nothing to do with it, but it's by choice. It's not to remain ignorant, but rather to remain clean of heart. And actually we'll be full of wisdom when we are so-called ignorant of evil. It doesn't mean we're naive, but we don't want to know evil in that sense, to do evil, just so somehow we can be experienced or know everything. Only God can handle knowing everything. And then, of course, the pride of life, or the pride in riches. All these things are what we need to be on guard about. Even more so in our time, like I said, 2,000 years ago, they had things, but they didn't have as many things as we have, at least in our North American, European society. I mean, most kids today have in their rooms what more than the kings of old had in theirs. Maybe not in terms of, riches and mounds of gold and so on, but even this device that I'm doing this thing, and I still think it's something. I know it's not a miracle, but it's kind of tantamount to a miracle. When you're old, you say those kind of things, or older, but it's amazing the technology in this. I think they said we used to fill an entire room of computers, and now we hold it in our hand, put it in our pocket. There's a lot of beautiful things that can be done with this thing, or it can be used for evil, pornography, trashing people, and various social media platforms and so on, ruining people's lives. So we need to be conscientious, intentional. Very important word, intentional, about how we use these things. We don't love them in the strict sense of the word, but we are grateful for them and we are stewards of them. And that's the important thing. We're stewards of them, and we want them always to be used for God's glory and not just for our own aggrandizement. For using this to hit on people or to promote things that are illegal, immoral, unethical, then it's the world, basically, and we're caving into our worst tendencies, our disordered tendencies of we're falling in love with the world. We need to reject this, repent of it, confess it, and kind of restart with the grace of Jesus Christ and get back to using these things properly. We're going to leave all this stuff behind, so we need to remind ourselves again and again and again and again. This is only for a time. It's wonderful, it's a gift, but it's only for a time. God is forever. People are forever. So I always need to put people over things. Love people, use things, not use people and love things. Very, very important and so easy to forget. All right. Gospel. We are St. Luke today. This is Anna, the prophet Anna, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher. She was of a great age, having lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage. Then she was a widow to the age of 84. She never left the temple, but worshiped there with fasting and prayer night and day. And we know what happens. 84. This is so rare that people live that long in this time. So this is a woman who obviously through her lifestyle, really, well, we would say in our language, she took care of herself. It's not why she did it. She did it because her life was dedicated to God. She fasted, she prayed, so she didn't overeat, she didn't overindulge. And she prayed night and day. Now she was in the temple. She was almost what we would call like a religious or a nun, but she wasn't. But the important thing is that you and I can do this whether we're Anna in the temple all day or not, or in your home with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Whatever it is, living a single life, living like myself. We're living in the world, but we can be men and women praying day and night. As I think I mentioned just before Christmas, that even if we're not praying formally, we should be praying. In other words, our whole day should be an offering to God. We're trying to offer everything as a holy and pleasing sacrifice to Him by doing it well, doing it for love of Him, and sanctifying our day. And by doing this, we're praying even when we're not formally praying, saying our prayers, for example, in meditation. So Anna is a great example of a woman who shows us how we can dedicate ourselves according to our own circumstances to God, how we can dedicate our life to God day and night. So pray even when you're not formally praying. God bless you.